Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our evening Sabbath class, the 17th of July, 2021. We're going to be dealing with some chapters out of the Book of Jubilees to close out the Sabbath. I'm asking everybody to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And this is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Shalom and welcome to everyone. We're going to do our moment of silence and prayer and songs and current events. We're going into our lesson. The moment of silence is for our Creator Yahweh and His Lord of hosts and all that He's doing to bring about our deliverance from our oppressors. Oh Lord, we come before Thee at this time that You have set apart for Your Sabbath day, that You have given unto us for rest. We are thankful for the knowledge and understanding that You have given us up until this point. We seek Thy face on this Sabbath, that You shower us with peace and enlightenment and a sense of togetherness. Oh Lord, we see Thy hand in the affairs of the world. We know and understand that what You have spoken in the past will surely come to pass. Turn not Thy face from us, but hearken unto this plea. Hearken, O Lord, and do. All praises unto You. Okay. Okay. This is Psalms 96. It says, a call to praise God. Oh, sing unto the Lord a new song. Sing unto the Lord all the earth. Sing unto the Lord, bless His name. Show forth His salvation from day to day. Declare His glory among the heathen, His wonders among all people. For the Lord is great, and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Honor and majesty are before Him. Strength and beauty are in His sanctuary. Give unto the Lord, O ye kindreds of the people. Give unto the Lord glory and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto His name. Bring an offering and come into His courts. O worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Fear before Him all the earth. Say among the heathen that the Lord reigneth. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people rightly. Let the heavens rejoice, and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar, and the fullness thereof. Let the fields be joyful, and all that is therein. Then shall all the trees of the woods rejoice before the Lord, for He cometh to judge the earth. He shall judge the world with righteousness, and the people with His truth. So that's Psalm 96, a call to praise God. Okay. Anybody got any current events they want to bring up? Okay. See what I got. Yeah, this thing is good. It's like it's getting real tight. I'm looking any day, any week, something going down big. So it says right here, Germany Olympic soccer team walks off. Ain't that something? Germany Olympic soccer team walks off the pit after alleged racial abuse. The Germany Olympic soccer players walked off the pit on Saturday after one of their players was racially abused. The German Football Association. Ain't that something? It's just getting worse. It's just more and more people stepping up. The only thing gonna cut that off is reparation. It says Germany was playing against Honduras in a friendly match in preparation for the Olympics. It says The game, a final practice before taking to the big stage, according to the BFB, was played behind closed doors and it consisted of three 30-minute periods. Honduras led after the first period, but Germany scored an equalizer during the final third. With 5 minutes remaining, a German player left the pit after Jordan, I don't know his name, Tamagara, was racially abused. DFB wrote in a tweet. Tamagara, a 23-year-old defender, is black. Says, the team hasn't provided any details on the incident, but German coach Stefan Kuntz said that when one of our players is racially abused, playing on it is not at all option. So they shut the whole game down and walked off. If there's something that's unheard of. Any comments?
Yeah, didn't the players in England experience the same thing just a few
Yeah,
days
yeah,
ago?
it's happening all over the place. It's on a daily basis. That's what I was saying about, if you're paying attention, how these rednecks, especially the ones out here in the South, they can't comprehend that and they lashing back. That's what if you've been watching on YouTube, they coming out just out in the streets, going off on black folks with black folks retaliating. I noticed
Mm.
last week. I noticed last week. Uh, I noticed last week that the one guy, I think I showed you the video where the guy, ran up on the boy in the streets and started asking why he was there and all that, and it went on YouTube, and then about 2,000 people, black, showed up at the guy door. And that's been happening a lot too. So some will have to give. And then, so this is what I mean right here. And this is right here what kind of it sent me for a loop. It says a giant Confederate flag. This part of retaliation. A giant Confederate flag went up in the Ozarks. See that? One woman answered with a billboard. So it says Kansas City after a giant Confederate flag was erected this past winter, along with a popular route to the Lake of Ozarks. Amanda Burroughs, I can't say that name, felt compelled to respond. See, they see their world crumbling, and they're trying to retaliate, but the bankers behind it. Just like they was behind the transatlantic slave trade, they didn't retaliate to that. Now the bankers behind this, they flipped on it. The flag, she believes, is an outdated symbol of racism. I don't think it was appropriate that the flag would be allowed to speak for everyone in this community, Burroughs said, after being angry about it, but not being constructed for several months. I noticed that the billboard is in direct line with the site of the flag was available. So this right here, retaliation, was the thing that I want to shine light on was, I don't know if anybody know about it, I think I mentioned it before, but they built another White House. It goes back to I was telling you about what's on the money. It's a water event. It's a big water event. It's coming to America. You're gonna cause a tsunami, that's gonna hit the West Coast. And then they also have all this on the money. And they also have on the money on the $100 bill, I think it is, where the Hoover Dam, they're gonna explode the Hoover Dam. And so you say, what this got to do with the Ozarks? Well, when they do this, it's gonna be water everywhere. And the highest elevation in the United States is the Ozarks, and they already built another White House over there. So you can Google that if you want. You can Google it on your own time. But they already built another White House over there. So it was kind of ironic to me when I saw this that they just erected a big giant Confederate flag in the Ozarks. So anyway, when you understand what's going on about these uh, serpents, right? They've been here forever. They in the earth. The earth is hollow. These serpents been here inside the earth. So the other planet is hollow. So they go into these different planets looking for life on other planets when they inside the planets. So anyway, so they got tunnel systems all in the earth to different buildings. Like it's a tunnel system that goes to the Vatican. That same tunnel system come to the up to the White House. We got the same tunnel system comes up at the Denver Airport. Yeah, so you know it's just like you got highways and byways on top of the earth. They got tunnel systems, high speed tunnel systems with high technology under the earth, and they got these. You know, these are people that when you hear me talking about the illuminized bankers and all that, they've been illuminized by these serpents, same ones that failed with Satan. Told you it's a remnant. A remnant that's here. They've been dealing with it from day one. And that was in that's if you want to know what they look like, I was showing. Go look in the book. I recommended David Icke, the Biggest Secret. He show you give you a picture of how they look. And then so what you do is that's why Akhenaten and those pharaohs got that serpent on top of their one of those symbols on their top of their crown is the serpent. Because that's where they originated from. They're the ones that had long necks that I keep talking about. Akhenaten had the long, elongated neck, and Tutankhamun had one. They ascended from those 17 beings. But yeah, so like I was saying, it just you know that took me for a loop when I seen that, you know, Confederate flag being flown in the Ozarks. So I mean, why the Ozarks? You know, yeah. So like I was saying before, these people sending messages out. They they got codes. They talking through the media and through Hollywood and all that to each other. So, you know, that could be a code for them for something getting ready to happen or whatever. But it just took me for a loop when I seen that. Okay. Any comments?
The Most High say, fear these people or their gods, and that at the end of the day, our people were slaying giants, so they can do what they want to do. But the remnant is going to get in control. The remnant is going to be in their laws, statutes, and commandments, so we don't have nothing to worry about. And the moment that they try to come against the Most High's righteous people is the moment they're going to have a problem.
Right. It's more or less need to know. You know, just need to know is what the reason why I'm conveying the information is, you know, these people operate out of ignorance by you being in the dark and not understanding what's going on. That's how they operate. So, on my job, I'm just, you know, shine a light on it. You know? And so, like I was saying, you can, you know, you can go into it, or you know, you can just let it roll off like water on a duck back. So let me get the next one. Okay, it's the other one right here, last one. Like I said, all this stuff is scripted. Can you see that?
Yes.
So it says, while this is racial abuse caused by German Olympic team walk out in match. I just had this. Okay, but this is another part of it. So they showing how they walked out. You know, all this stuff happened all over the place. Just like with the, it's a lot of stuff going on with the blacks with the U.S. Olympics, and they still on edge about what they did to the girl witches. So it's all this stuff is all over. It's coming to a head. They bringing it to a head. You know, like I say, powers that be behind it. So, okay, let me get this right quick while we're here. Yeah, I had this up last night, but I didn't get a chance to play it, so I'm gonna play it now. This got to do with the update on Shadow. Okay, there we go. So the update on Shiloh. Hebrews. Okay. I get there. Wow. Okay. Okay. So with that being said, yeah, I'm open it up for some Q&A. Anybody got any questions or comments about anything before I start reading out Jubilees? Read a couple chapters.
Yes, Brother Leonard. What
Oh,
is your goal with Shiloh?
well, when you go to the story of Shiloh in the Bible, that when they came out of the land of Egypt, when they came out of Egypt, and then they came in, you know that what the spies done. So he ended up making those people go wander around in the wilderness for 40 years. He killed them all. Then he brought them through Joshua. They crossed the Jordan, and when they crossed the Jordan, they was in the land of Canaan. They set up Shiloh. That was like a command center, and from there they went out. They, you know, and they divided the land by lots and all that. So the beginning reigns of them receiving their blessings that was promised to them by Joseph, the land of milk and honey. They set up Shiloh. So it's been 2,500 years, almost 3,000 years since we've been separated from our land. When you go all the way back to 143 BC. And then so looking at what we're looking at right here, because I had been doing some serious stuff just a few minutes ago, watching, listening on this line. But anyway, so we see how many people that's, you know, consumed by the New Testament and all that. You know, there's very few people understand who JC is. So with that understanding, I figure command center got to be set up. You know what I'm saying? And the information.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Ain't got to be nothing big, but it's got to be somewhere where people can go or you know, do some, you know, get the information, seek it,
Right.
get it firsthand.
Okay, right.
So that's what that is. Just, you know, Shiloh, same concept.
That's dope.
Well, yeah, we got to start again. You know what I mean?
Right.
And observing as long as I have, it just, you know, you got all kind of people. They super sharp, but for some reason, a lot of hosts going over their head. They ain't getting it. It's just, then some of them get offended. So yeah, if there's something. Anybody else got any questions or comments or whatever? Everybody good?
Yes.
Okay. You go and just read this. We're probably gonna be on here about an hour. I'm in Jubilees. I'm picking up where I stopped this morning. I'm in 21, and it says, in the 6th year of the 7th week of this Jubilee, Abraham called Isaac his son and commanded him, saying, I have become old, and I do not know the day of my death, but I am full of my days. I am 175 years old, and throughout all the days of my life, I have remembered the Lord, sought with all my heart to do his will, and to walk uprightly in all his ways. My soul has hated idols. I have given my heart and spirit to the observance of the will of him who created me. For he is the living God, and he is holy and faithful, and he is righteous beyond all, and he is no respecter of men or of their gifts. For God is righteous, and execute judgment on all those who transgress his commandments and despise his covenant. My son, observe his commandments and his law and his judgments, and do not walk after the abominations or after the graven images and after the molten images, and eat no blood at all of animals or cattle or of any bird that flies in the heavens. If you kill a sacrificial animal as an acceptable peace offering, kill it, pour out its blood on the altar, place all the fat of the offering on the altar with the fine flour and the meat offering mingled with oil with the drink offering. Place them all together on the altar of burnt offerings. It is a sweet savor before the Lord. It says, you will offer the fat of the sacrifice of thanks offering on the fire which is on the altar, and the fat which is on on the belly and all the fat on the inside behind the two kidneys and all the fat that is on them and the lobes of the liver you will remove together with the kidneys. After all these, for a sweet odor acceptable before the Lord, with his meat offerings and with his drink offerings and the bread of the offering of the Lord. So let's look at this because, like I was saying last night and this morning, we dealing with an idol, and because we calling, we praying, we worshiping and calling, we ain't see no sign of it. Well, it ain't our God, but it's their God. They concocted, they getting all kind of answers. We see they wealth per household is 5-10 times greater than ours. So because they're dealing with their God, but we ain't dealing with ours. So people getting all bent out of shape and tied up in a pickle when you tell them that who JC is, right? And so my thing is this: if we want our God, we want him to come deal with him. I was telling you about the Israelite. He got herds, flocks and herds that belong to him. And the reason he had these flocks and herds is because he got these animals. And our God expect of us a sacrifice, not a human sacrifice, but from these animals he gave us. Let's look at it right quick before I go into that. So I had showed you before. It says Genesis 26, 1 and 26 says, Genesis 1 and 26 says, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creep on earth, right? So these right here, these wild animals. Verse 20, 1 and 20. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly moving creatures that have life, and the fowl that fly in the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created great whales, everything, every living creature that moved, which the waters brought forth abundantly after that kind, and every winged fowl of this kind. And God said, let it, and it was good. So he created all these animals, these wild animals. Now, let's go over here to Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. Genesis 2 and 18 says, and the Lord God, see that? The Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a help me for him, right? You're assuming it's the woman. But verse 19 says, out of the ground, see that? Out of the ground, the Lord God formed. See, he created them wild animals, but out of the ground, the Lord God formed every beast of the field. These are domestic animals that got sense, and they help the man. It says, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them, and whosoever Adam called, every living creature that was his name called him. So these are domestic animals, the same ones, the sheep and the goats and the oxen that Most High require him to make a sacrifice with. So you say, what you talking about? Okay, I showed you that. So he created them. He created some angels, formed some angels. Created a man and a woman, formed a man. He created some animals, formed some animals. See that? So we back over here. I mean, back where I was at, 20 Jubilees 21, verse 7 says, if you kill a sacrificial animal as an acceptable peace offering, kill it, pour out his blood on the altar, place all the fat, look at this, place all the fat of the offering on the altar with fine flour and the meat offering. It says, and fine flour and meat offering mingled with oil with the drink offering. Place them all together on the altar. It's the altar in the temple, right? Altar of the burnt offerings, right? Look at this. It is a sweet odor before the Lord. So that's what he preferred. So, like I said, you got JC over here, you got Allah, and you got Buddha, you got all these crucified Savior I told you about, and you got the Lord of hosts. And you're trying to figure out which one it is. Well, kill the sacrifice and put the fat on the offering. Put it up on the altar and see who it is. Come on. We family with it. So he said right here, if you kill a sacrificial animal, an acceptable peace offering, you're going to accept it. If you kill a sacrificial animal as an acceptable peace offering, kill it, pour out the blood on the altar, place all the fat offering on the altar with the fine flour and the meat offering, mingle with the oil and with the drink offering, place them all together on the altar of the burnt offerings. It is a sweet odor before the Lord. See that? You want to find out who he is? Put a big fat ox on the altar and do what he tell you to do with it. And then burn it. You'll find out who you're dealing with. So he says, you will offer the fat of the sacrifice, the thanks offering on the fire, which is on the altar, and the fat, which is on the belly. See that? And all the fat on the inside. That's what he is. You trying to find out who he is? Go get the fat. Come on. Behold, behind the two kidneys, and all the fat that is on them, and the lobes of the liver you shall remove together with the kidney. Offer all these for a sweet offering. See? So you're going to find out who you're dealing with. Dionysus don't give a damn about no fat on no ram on those goat. And Zeus, he don't care about no sacrificial offering on the altar in Jerusalem. But the Lord of hosts do. Jesus wants you to sacrifice humans. Come on. 10, look at this. Eat it. See that? Eat its meat on that day and on the second day, but do not let the sun go down on it until it is eaten. Let nothing be left over the third day, for it's not acceptable. Let it be no longer be eaten. All who eat of it will bring sin on themselves. For thus I have found it written in the books of my forefathers. See that? I have found it written in the books of my forefathers and in the words of Enoch and in the words of Noah. See that? That's what they were doing. He showed up. So you say, what you talking about? Let's look at it. Right? So he hid his face from us. So how he do it? He took away these rams and these goats and these, so you can make these sacrifices. No sooner than you set this up and put that on there, he itching for a scratch. He gonna show up. So let's look at it. You say, what you talking about? I'm in Genesis. Let's look at it. He says, right here. Here we go again. Let me get this. Okay. Chapter 8. Okay. Chapter 14. So it says in yeah, here we go. 15. So this is prophecy of Israel bondage. Isaiah, Genesis 15, verse 7. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee up out of the Ur of the Chaldeans to give thee the land of Israel, to inherit it. And he said, look at this. And he said, the Lord God said, whereby shall I know that I inherited it? And he said unto him, look at this. Take me, Lord of hosts talking to Abraham. Take me a heifer 3 years old. See that? And a she-goat 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took unto them all these and divided them into the midst, and laid each piece of one against the other. But the birds he divided not. We don't know how to do this. This is what they took away from us. But they got us over there dealing with this idol, JC. So he did all that, right? And then it says, and when the fowls came down upon the carcass, Abraham drove them away. And when the sun was gone down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and lo, a hard great darkness fell upon him, right? And then you go down to 16, but in the 17, he did what he told him. What I just read over there in Jubilees says in 17, and it came to pass that when the sun went down, see that? So you're trying to find the right God, the El, the strong one of Israel. He said, and it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp passed between pieces. He showed up. As soon as dark came, he showed up. It wasn't JC, it wasn't Zeus, Dionysus, it wasn't none of them. It was the Lord of hosts. He said that the fat of these animals is a sweet savor in his nose. When you go to burning it, the way he tell you to burn it, he gonna show up.
Brother Lennon, can we discuss this, please?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, we are not allowed to do sacrifices without the high priest line from Aaron. And
Wow.
I'm making sure I won't trip in. So I went through Leviticus, and we're not supposed to be doing none of this until we get to the land that the Most High give us. Now, if you just saying that to make the separation between the two gods, because like you said, these false idols are not requiring the blood sacrifices of animals. And it's only the hijack, and it's only Esau and them that go in when you do see the false gods coming in and they slicing the animals. But it's such detailed regulation behind the sacrifices of animals, from the placements of the head for where the blood must be sprinkled at, to the point to where even when the high priest is becoming ordained, how he had to have blood on the right tip of his ear, on the right hand of his thumb, and on the great thumb of his big toe on the right foot. Now, if you just making the separation that, amen, you know, this is a separation between the gods, and that our personal God that's for us over Israel, who will inherit all nations of the earth, of course,
Right.
is requiring the blood sacrifices, and you just putting it out there for the folk to know, okay, that's understandable. But to get some people who might not be as well versed in the law to get out there and start going out killing animals. And it's certain animals that can only be sacrificed. It's meat offerings, it's offerings for peace, it's Thanksgiving offerings, it's offerings for trespasses, and it's different animals that can be sacrifices. Some can be male, some can be female. It's very, very, very detailed. And we must have the high priest from the lineage of Aaron, which rod was budded at the end to be distinguished even amongst the Levites, to make sure that it ain't no error being caused. Because when we start doing these sacrifices in the midst of the tabernacle, it's serious.
Right. That's why he got Elijah reserved. That's my very point. What you saying? That's why he raised our forefathers. They ain't throwed like us.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying that. I'm saying that how can you in 2021 still dealing with an idol when all you have to do is look at what our the elder strong one over here, what he was doing and what he required of us back then. And so when the time comes, like he said, it's not a coincidence that he's saying Israel gonna abide for many days without a king and without a priest, because the priests know what to do. To call him to bring it. That's what I mean. So all that is already in place. He already reserved reason Elijah didn't die. Elijah the one gonna come back. Elijah want to know all this. Everything you're saying is A1. But I'm just saying, how can the person or anybody in 2021 can't see an idol when they look at it and then not understand who the Lord of hosts is? Yeah. Right. So there's no way like I'm saying, it's not a coincidence we don't have no high priest. It's not a coincidence that we don't have the seed of David. It's not a coincidence that we don't have no flocks and herds. It ain't a coincidence. That's the very foundation of reason why he's saying he hid his face. He hid his face by taking away the rams, the goats, and all that. He hid his face by taking away the high priest, the two anointed ones. That's how he hid his face. No sooner when they come back is when everything you just said is going to transpire. Right.
But with Christianity, they have the Lord's Supper.
Right.
And they eat of his body.
Right.
And drink of his blood.
Yeah, the very thing I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. In 2021, you can't see the cross comparison that ain't got nothing to do with Yahweh, got nothing to do with Israel. That's total opposite.
Right. That sounds like cannibalism.
It is. That's what the fallen angels require. They require human blood. Whereas the God of Israel, the strong one of Israel, he required sacrificial animals that he gave to Adam in the very beginning. He formed them from the ground. The domestic animals. That's the blood that's needed Not nobody born on no virgin. You got these sacrificial animals, the blood that they contain within them is acceptable on the altar. Yeah. And so, like I was saying before, those things, that information, that's needed information. It ain't, it's not that you're gonna go try to do that. It's just that it needs to know information. It's like, I mean, for example, I'm just listening on this other line before I came on here that Noah was an albino. And then they're going from that. They're trying to decipher and break down some of the scriptures. You can't break down none of the scriptures if you believe Noah's albino. Come on, look, go out there anywhere and turn over some old tree out in the woods somewhere, and you're gonna see albino bugs. You're gonna see albino tree bugs. They not apt. They barely can move. That's, I mean, so they're not gonna last because that's the reason why
No,
the
they're
other
not.
bugs are quick. They quick. They got melanin in them. They know how to get away from these. They predators. They got predators everywhere. Albino can't survive out in the environment.
Or in the wild, because when you have an albino animal, the other animals that try to attack it. If you get like a
Right,
white monkey in the midst of all the monkeys or a white animal, they
right,
automatically see it as a defilement and try to automatically kill it.
right. But these animals got more sense than we do because the animals now they'll kill it just on the fact that it's nature. They know what it is, but they're not gonna interbreed with it. They ain't gonna breed with it, but that ain't what man gonna do. He gonna breed with them. So, but the animal they ain't gonna breed with it. They'll kill it, but they ain't gonna breed with it. They got more sense than we do. So anyway, so that's how they go. So you can't. How is Noah albino? So let's go. I want to go into that in a minute. So then it went from that was the thing was that's how Japhet became white because Noah was albino. Let that front make. So then you know um, they believe in this. This is what I'm telling you about thinking like a Hebrew. So they believe in that Noah is albino. So you got that in your head that that's concrete information, right? So now you trying to decipher the Bible with the fact that Noah is albino when you off because Noah ain't no albino. So now you saying that because Noah is albino, in, um, Noah's daddy Lamech went to go ask Enoch, why is his son different than everybody else? What's happened? And you say he don't believe that he told Enoch he don't believe that his son, that Noah is his son. He said he think he from the Watchers. One of the Watchers slept with his wife. Okay, so now because you believe Noah albino, now that's justification that the angels, if Noah albino and one of the angels slept with Noah's wife, then that means the angels are white. So see that? That's a whole church doctrine right there. You can build a church off of that. But that's a lie from the pits of hell. Because the truth of the matter is he turned Cain white. And Cain got a lineage, which is Japhet. And the Most High told Japhet to go get a male and a female from all flesh off the earth and put them on the boat. So they way off fact. And then on top of that, he got somebody that's sitting right there in the wings waiting to give you the truth, but you don't want to hear it. You got them on mute. So you see what I mean? So that's happening all over with Israel. Like I was saying before, he got a whole tribe, Levites, that he told you all through the scriptures, got his oracles. He didn't say nothing about Reuben and all them other boys. He said the Levites, but they don't want to conform to that. And so they all over there. It's cool if that's where you want to be at, but you got a whole group of people listening to that garbage that you're telling them. And it ain't even, it's horrible. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, how can let me read something. How can Noah be albino when you know we already figured out Adam all the way down to Lamech is they men of color. So if Noah is a albino, then something wrong. That's sin. That's wickedness. So let's look at it. Then you say the angel's white. So I'm in Daniel chapter 10. Daniel chapter 10. You got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm starting at verse 4 when he's describing Michael. It says, and in the 4th and 20th day of the month, of the first month, as I was by the side of the great river Hiddekel, I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man, clothed in linen, whose loins were girded about with fine gold and upas. Here you go. His body, telling you what he color he looked like. His body also was like beryl, like brown, burnished brass, like beryl, and his face as appearance of lightning. So this the angel, our Lord of hosts. He brown skinned. So how in the world is Noah albino? It's a problem if Noah albino. See that? But you don't allow somebody that can show you that to do it. You rather go off down the road with some old roller skates on with lights on, rather than to get somebody to break it down and show you what time it is. Is that something?
Yeah, it's like you said, Brother Leonard, they keep on trying to insert their own history in our
Yeah,
history because it really wasn't until you, because I used to believe also that Noah was an albino, and I was listening to a
right,
couple brothers, and then you know how they got it listed in the book of Jasher. And
right,
but at the same time, but when you brought out about how Miriam got plagued and the leprosy
right,
and had to get put out the camp to be white and to have your melanin stripped from you, it is an abomination. And to have your
right,
hair turned white is an abomination, and you are
right.
unclean. So it
You're
made a
unclean.
lot of sense because you know they did try to put those little words in there like, oh, the Most High finna do a new thing.
Right,
Man, the Most High is
right,
redundant. So
right,
why would he put an abomination out for the whole world to be a witness to his might and his mercy for sparing Noah and the three people that he allowed to get on the boat with their wives and stuff? Why would he allow a albino a curse to be put onto the the boat? It just didn't
right,
make no sense. They was out there
right,
trying to once again put themselves in the history.
right, exactly. And you got to be able to see that because you're going down. Look where they gonna end up at. They're all over on a whole other road because you can't see that no albino mean. All you have to do is look at nature and see that albino ain't got nothing to do with the Yahweh. He ain't got nothing to do with it because that's saying that he don't know how with his creation. It's creation flaw. So that ain't got nothing to do with him. That comes from these fallen angels and all that. That stuff came on the earth from these fallen angels. So another way to look at that, he made Adam. He formed him with his hands, made him. We know he was a melanated man. So he made Adam the first man melanated. Then you get to the 10th man when it's time for the flood, and you're gonna make a albino man. So I mean that means that you wasn't dealing righteously with these other nine. Come on, it's crazy. It don't take a a baboon can see that. Yeah. Anybody got any more comments before I start reading? So I'm in 21 and 11 of Book of Jubilees. And on all your offerings you will scatter salt, and do not let the salt of the covenant be lacking in all your offerings before the Lord. As regards to the wood of the sacrifice, beware to bring only these and no other wood to the altar. In addition to these, cypress, bay, almond, fir, pine, cedar, savin, fig, olive, myrrh, laurel, and asafa. I don't know what that word is to say. Then three, and chapter 13, verse 13, of these kinds of wood lay on the altar under the sacrifice such as I have been tested as their appearance, and do not lay on it any split or dark wood, but only hard and clean wood, without fault, healthy, new growth. Do not lay one wood on it. Do not lay old wood on it, because there is no longer fragrance in it as before. See that? That's where the fragrance coming from. Yeah, so that's what he waiting on. That's what he loved. Just like Gabriel told him when Daniel, uh, afflicted his soul, stopped eating, afflicted his flesh, and brought his spirit man up. And Gabriel told him, "I saw when you did that the first day you did. But these wicked angels held me up. But I saw when you did it. Same right here. He's telling you what to do, for him to come." So it said 14. Besides these kinds of wood, there is none other that you will place on the altar. See that? For the fragrance is dispersed. And the smell of the fragrance will not go up into heaven. See that? It ain't gonna even go up to heaven if it ain't the right wood. That be clean in your body at all times. Wash yourselves with water before you approach to the altar, to offer on the altar. Wash your hands and your feet before you draw near to the altar. And when you are done sacrificing, wash your hands and feet again. Let no blood appear on you or on your clothes. Be on your guard against blood, my son. Be on your guard continuously and cover it with dust. Now I want you to see this now. Okay, this is a doozy. So I'm gonna read 16 again. It says, "Be clean in your body at all times. Wash yourself with water before you approach the altar to offer the altar. Wash your hands and your feet before you draw near to the altar. And when you are done sacrificing, wash your hands and your feet again." Now look at this. "Let no blood appear on you or on your clothes. Be on your guard against blood, my son. Be on guard continuously and cover it with dust." Now go look at JC on the cross. Come on now. Go look at JC on the cross. You beat him like a hog and blood all over the place. Look what he's telling them. "Let no blood appear on you or on your clothes. Be on your guard against blood, my son. Be on your guard continuously, covered with dust." Come on, like I said, a baboon can see that. That's total opposite. Come on. "Do not eat any blood, for it is the soul." See that? Why is it soul? Melanin in the blood. "Eat no blood whatsoever. Take no payment for shedding of blood." See that? Shedding the blood of a man, or it will cause you to be shed without fear of punishment, without judgment. It is the blood that is shed that causes the earth to sin. See that? So you done beat him like a hog. You causing the earth to sin. Shedding blood. Come on. See that? That's why these books ain't in there. It is the blood that is shed that causes the earth to sin. And the earth cannot be cleansed from the blood of a man except by the blood of he who shed it. Take no presents or gifts for the man of blood of man, blood for blood, that you may be accepted before the Lord. The Most High God, He is the defense of the good, so that you may be preserved from all evil, that you may withhold you from every kind of death. I see, my son, all the works of the children of men are sin and wickedness, and all their deeds are uncleanness and abomination and a pollution, and there is no righteousness in them. Beware, or you will walk in their ways and tread their paths and commit sin worthy of death before the Most High God. He will hide his face. See, I told you that. And I showed you how he done it. He will hide his face from you and give you back into the hands of your transgressions and root you out of the land, and your offspring likewise from under heaven, and your name and your offspring shall perish from the whole earth. That's what happened to us, right? Turn away from all these deeds and all their uncleanness and observe the laws of the Most High and do his will and be upright in all things. If you do this, he will bless you in all your deeds and will raise up for you a plant of righteousness through all the earth, throughout all generations of the earth. And my name and your name shall not be forgotten under heaven forever. Go, my son, in peace. May the Most High God, my God, and your God strengthen you to do his will, and may he bless all your offspring, and the remainder of your offspring for generation forever, with all righteousness blessings, that you may be a blessing on all the earth. He went out from him rejoicing. See that? Is that making any sense?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Okay, ain't that something? Okay, so
Because those Edomites, don't they, what is it, how do you say it, adronakin, where they drink blood from
right,
little kids?
right, yeah, you about that substance that's in the blood.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's brought about by inducing fear in the children, and then they brain secrete that certain chemical out because it's related to fear, extreme fear. That's what they want. Like that
that's
something?
wicked. They wicked.
That's wicked. So
Wow.
the thing about that is you got to ask yourself, how do you know that? So that's what I'm telling you. It's a remnant of fallen angels that's still here. They know that, you know, they showing them how to do that. Right.
And think about all the people that eat their steaks like rare or medium rare, you
Exactly.
know, and
Yeah.
blood in it and stuff like that.
Right. That's what I'm saying about, you know, once you get the foundation laid and you understand this, wherever you at, you out, you see it. You know, in the back of the day, you didn't see it, but you go to the restaurant, you see who came to Sinners Hill. All you gotta do is sit there and look. Like I said, get you a cup of coffee in the morning and sit by the side of the highway. Every car come by, there's gonna be a little white boy on the passenger side or in the back seat that he challenged. And like I said, the Most High don't that ain't come from the Most High. That came from when these fallen angels came down. That lineage, that DNA that they had, it don't mix. It don't supposed to. It don't human angelic DNA don't supposed to mix with uh, human DNA. And that's what you get. That's the result of it. You get this all this, like David said. His soul hates that because he know what the origins of it. Most High don't create nobody like that. That's why he put melanin in us. The melanin assists in the whole 9 months in the development of the fetus. You ain't gonna get no misfits. Excuse my expression, but that's how you get it, because that's why he takes the melanin out of a person. So you'll know what's going on, who they are. You can identify them. That's why Noah jumped up from his sleep and said, "Cursed be Canaan." And then the Lord host said, "Cursed be the serpent, cursed be Cain." And then we just saw this morning, Isaac cursed the Philistines. See that? There ain't no other meaning for that word, and there ain't no other understanding for it. But they done made it good. They done brought JC on the scene, healing all this stuff that the Most High abhor. Come on, yeah, ain't that something? Okay. Any more questions? Comments?
I have a question.
What you got?
Um, the fallen 200,
Right,
ain't, were they stripped of their color? The
right,
burl?
right. It was. That's what I was saying about. So when you go back to what they talking about Noah being an albino. So like I was saying, when he kicked them out, he changed their countenance. He changed everybody else when they seen him. When he was through with him, he turned. Every time his anger kindled, that's what he do. He cursed them. So he cursed those 200 to identify, so they can be identified. I told you how Leonidas in the 300 went up on the side of the mountain. It was 7 beings up in there. They call intelligentsia those angels, but they albinos. They got sores all over them. You took the melanin out of them.
That makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Right. But like I said, they don't want to deal with it. That's the truth of the matter. That's reality. That's all you gotta do. That's what you do. When you ain't right, that's what you do. We take back the gift that he gave them. First of all, the sun, like the Egyptians said, the Egyptians looked and observed the sun. They seen how everything reacted to the sun. Well, the Most High got a problem with you. He's gonna take the melanin from you. Then you can't deal with the sun that he created. Sun gonna beat you down because you ain't even took the very essence that's in you to protect you from the sun. He takes that. That's what you know. So, like I said, you trying to figure out if you're a black man or whatever. So, why would a white man take the melanin? There's got to be a black man that's taking the melanin. He the one gave it. Yeah. Ain't that something?
That's deep.
Oh yeah. But that's the foundation. You know, you can't move forward until you get to the foundation is laid and you have an understanding on what's going on. Yeah. So let me read 22 and then we're gonna close out. It's Jubilee chapter 22. In the first week of the 44th Jubilee, in the second year, that is the year in which Abraham died, Isaac and Ishmael came from the well of oak to celebrate the feast of weeks, which is the feast of the first fruit of the harvest to Abraham, their father. And Abraham rejoiced before his two sons had come. Isaac had many possessions in Beersheba, and Isaac desired to go and see his possessions and return to his father. In those days, Ishmael came to see his father, and they both came together, and Isaac offered sacrifices for the burnt offerings and presented it on the altar for his father that he had made in Hebron, and he offered thanks offerings. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay. Okay, you're gonna have to go. You got to go to YouTube. I think this is full. Yeah, it's full. So it says chapter 4, this 22 and verse 4. And he offered thanks offerings and made a feast of joy in the presence of Ishmael, his brother. And Rebekah made new cakes from the new grain and gave them to Jacob, her son, to take them to Abraham, his father, from the first fruits of the land, that he might eat and bless the Creator of all things before he died. Isaac also sent Jacob to Abraham with an offering of his best for thanks, so that he might eat and drink. He ate and drank, blessed the Most High God, who created heaven and earth, who has made all the fat things of the earth, and given them to the children of men, that they might eat and drink and bless their Creator. And now I give thanks to you, my God, because you have caused me to see this day. Behold, I am 103 and 10 years old, and an old man and full of days, and all my days have been peace to me. The sword of the adversary has not overcome me in all that you have given me and my children all the days of my life until this day. My God, may your mercy and your peace be on your servant and on your offspring of his sons, that they may be to you a chosen nation and inheritance from among the nations of the earth from now on and to all the days of the generations of the earth, to all ages. And he called Jacob and said, my son Jacob, may the God of all bless you and strengthen you to do righteousness, and he will be before him, and may he choose you and your offspring, that you may become a people for his inheritance according to his will always. And my son Jacob draw nigh and kiss me, and he drew near and kissed him, and he said, blessed be my son Jacob, and all the sons of God most high to all ages. May God give to you an offspring of righteousness, and some of your sons may be sanctified throughout all the whole earth. Many nations serve you, and all nations bow themselves before your offspring. Be strong in the presence of me, exercise authority over all the offspring of self. Then your ways and your ways of your sons will be justified, so that they shall become a holy nation. May the Most High God give you all the blessings with which He has blessed me and blessed Noah and Adam. May they rest on the sacred head of your offspring from generation to generation. Right? So may He cleanse you from all unrighteousness and impurity, so that you may be forgiven of all your transgressions which you have committed ignorantly. May He strengthen you and bless you. May you inherit the whole earth, and may you renew His covenant with you as you, so that you may be to Him a nation for his inheritance for all ages, and so that He may be to you and to your offspring a God in truth and in righteousness throughout the days of the earth. My son Jacob, remember my words, observe the commandments of Abraham your father, separate yourself from the nation, the Gentiles. Separate yourself from the nations, the Gentiles, and do not eat with them. Look at this. Do not eat with them. But all of a sudden now, he didn't grafted them in. He said, do not even eat with them. Do not emulate their works, and do not associate with them, because their works are unclean, and all their ways are a pollution and an abomination and uncleanness. They offer their sacrifice to the dead. See that? That's the saints. That's these saints up in the Vatican. They offer their sacrifices to the dead, and they worship evil spirits. See that? And they eat other over the grave, and all their works are empty and nothingness. They have no heart to understand, and their eyes do not see what their works are, and how they go astray by saying to a piece of wood, you are my God, and to a stone, you are my Lord, and you are my deliverer. It's JC all the way up and down. Because the stone and the wood have no heart. And as for you, my son Jacob, may the Most High God help you, and the God of heaven bless you, and remove you from their uncleanness and from all their error. Jacob, be warned. Do not take a wife from any of the offsprings of the daughters of the Canaan, for all his offspring are to be rooted out of the earth. See that? Because of the transgressions of Ham, Canaan erred, and all his offspring shall be destroyed from the earth, including any remnant of it, and none springing from him shall exist except for on the day of judgment. Now, let me show you something right here. How slick Esau is. And then you gotta ask yourself, how in the hell did I see it? So 20. 20 says, Jacob warned. Let me go up 19. And as for you, my son, okay, up here he's talking about the Gentiles. That's proper English. And following the topic sentence in proper English, verse 16 says, my son, Jacob, remember my words.
Is it just him or
I think we lost him.
okay?
Yeah.
I ain't want to say nothing, but I
I
couldn't
know
hear
I thought it
nothing.
was mine at first.
Right.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh, they hating for real, y'all.
Yes, trying to cut it off.
He must have been going in too deep.
Well, they've been doing it to a lot of people that speak in right knowledge.
I see why the book of Enoch is not included with the rest of the scriptures.
Or yeah, I'm seeing why Jubilee
Yeah,
is
Jubilees too, because
Right,
Jubilees is
right.
deep.
I see why they didn't want that included.
Right, that's
Yeah.
deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is all the missing pieces. They were just giving us little bits and pieces.
Crumbs, huh, Aqua?
Crumbs.
Y'all see how we not supposed to be eating with them, hanging out with them, in the congregation, in the midst of them, no nothing. And where they at? Everywhere. Got us eating at
Everywhere.
their restaurants and everything. If we had known, look, y'all, this is probably why it was good that we were segregated and they had to bring in Martin Luther King in
Yeah.
order for him to get us all united, to make us believe that we all one people, which go right back to how the Romans was talking about, come on, we finna make everybody be as one people, knowing for a fact that we not supposed to be around y'all unclean behinds.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, in the book of Jeremiah, he did say, learn not the ways of the heathen.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, one thing it sure did speak truth. They unclean, that's for sure.
You can say that again, Zaya.
They done taught us so much wickedness, y'all, from us getting tattoos of people of our past loved ones placed upon our bodies, all type of things. As I'm just sitting here reading, I'm like, man, we have learned so much from these disgusting nation of a people.
Hello?
Right. Even their
Hey,
eating ways.
Hello?
you
You
back?
lost us for a
We
while.
back now.
Yeah, yeah, they didn't throw them in across. So yeah, the whole thing shut off. But I'm telling you, you know when you beating on them, they gonna shut it off. Oh
Oh
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
I was on a whole nother, I was in another dimension, man. Oh yeah.
They listen just like we listen.
Yeah.
You
Right.
So,
was you was going in way too deep there,
Yeah,
Zach.
they listening in too.
man, you
Yeah.
can see that. Yeah. So look at this right here. I'm gonna close out after this. So I was over there at 22. Let me read that. So 22, he said that yeah, so 19 said 22 and 19 says he talking about the Gentiles, right? And go back to the story. It's they say Ham slept with Noah's wife, and that's how you got Canaan. But it says and 16 through 20, he talking about the Gentiles. That's Japhet. Then he get to 20. 20 says, Jacob, be warned. Do not take a wife from the offspring of the daughters of Canaan, right? Or for all his offspring are to be rooted out. So we talking about the Gentiles, Canaan included. Now 21, because of transgression of Ham. See, now he stuck Ham in there. Now when he talking about Japhet from 16 all the way down,
Yep.
see that? Now all of a sudden he jumped over to Ham because you done flipped it over there in the king. You done flipped it. So now you got to come back and you told one lie, you got to tell another lie.
Mm.
All of a sudden, from all this is about the Gentiles, which is Japhet. It ain't but one race of Gentiles. And they in Genesis chapter 10. So then all of a sudden in 21, because of transgression of Ham, see that? He stuck Ham in there. Canaan heir. And all his offspring shall be destroyed from off the earth, including. So let me ask you that. Is all the African people going to be annihilated off the earth?
No.
No.
No, that's a 6 day man. So we see that's how you know we didn't flip that. It's Cain, the sinners that's gonna be annihilated off the earth. That's Japhet right here in 21. So how it reads is because of transgression of Japhet, Canaan error, and all his offspring shall be destroyed from off the earth, including any remnant of it, and none springing from him shall exist except on the day of judgment. See that? Like the brother was saying the other day, all they do is they can take one word and send you off down Prim Road. One word. See that? 22. And as for all the worshippers of idols and profane, there shall be no hope for them in the land of the living, and no one on the earth will remember them, for they shall descend into the abode of the death, and they shall go into the place of condemnation, as the children of Sodom were taken away from the earth. So will all those who worship idols be taken away. Fear not, my son Jacob, be not dismayed, son of Abraham. May the Most High God preserve you from destruction, and may he deliver you from all the paths of error. This house have I built for myself, that I may put my name on it in the earth. It is given unto you and to your offspring forever. And I will be named the house of Abraham. It is given to you and your offspring forever. For you will build my house and establish my name before God forever. Your offspring and your name will stand throughout all the generations of the earth. And he ceased commanding him and blessing him. So now let's look at that. Like I was telling you before about the 400-year prophecy, where Abraham prophesied that happened in Egypt. But let's look at this right here. So this Abraham talking. So they ain't built no temple yet. So the Most High gave that revelation to Abraham right here. Look what he said, 23. He talking to Jacob. Fear not, my son Jacob. Be not dismayed, O son of Abraham. May the Most High God preserve you from destruction, and may he deliver you from all the paths of error. This house have I built for myself, that I may put my name in it on the earth. It is given to you and to your offspring forever, and it will be the name of the house of Abraham. It is given to you and your offspring forever. You will build me a house. See, he prophesied. You're looking on the book of life that's in heaven, and he's telling him. Gabriel came and told him that he had a vision. So he says, you're going to build me a house. See that? He says, your offspring forever. You will build my house and establish my name before God forever. Your offspring and your name will stand throughout all the generations of the earth. See that? So he prophesied right here. So what happened? After that, they built the house. So you're not gonna give a prophet something way over here and skip over 4 or 5 prophets and then it come to pass. That ain't how it works. Whatever's gonna come to pass, it's the prophets right there at that time that's gonna prophesy. Jeremiah told them the Babylonians was coming. Right after that, Nebuchadnezzar showed up. So right here, I told you Abraham prophesied about the 400 years. Well, right after that, Jacob ended up over in Jacob and Joseph and them ended up in Egypt. They done flipped all that around to bring you to the story of JC. That's why they done flipped it all upside down. So look what it says. I'm gonna read 24 again. Then I'm gonna cut it off right here. So he says, "This house have I built for myself, that I might put my name on it in the earth. It is given unto you, right, Jacob, and to your offspring forever, 12 tribes, and it will be it will be named the house of Abraham. It will be given to you and your offspring forever. For you will build my house and establish my name." Look at this. So you want to know if Lord of hosts is Yahweh or not. So look what he's telling. It says, "For you will build my house and establish my name before God forever. Your offspring and your name will stand throughout all generations of the earth." He ceased commanding him, blessing him, and the two lay together on one bed. Jacob slept in the embracing arms of Abraham, his father's father, and he kissed him 7 times, and his affection and his heart rejoiced over him. He blessed him with all his heart and said, "The Most High God, the God of all, creator of all, who brought me out from Ur of the Chaldeans, that he might give me this land to inherit it, that I might establish it holy offspring. Blessed be the Most High forever." See that? Ain't that something?
That's beautiful.
Ain't that something? Any comments?
That was nice.
No comments? So
Thank you for the missing pieces.
okay.
Yeah.
So that was what I was reading the Jubilees 21 and 22. Yeah. So I'm gonna open it up for any questions before we go. If anybody have any questions or comments before we go. Everybody good?
Great class, bro.
Okay. Yeah. So what I was trying to do, man, with everybody was whenever we decide to have a little uh session on the side, we just gonna go to that conference call. And when I get ready to do that, I let everybody know like I did the other night. We go over there if you want anybody that want to come, we can, anybody wanted some had some missing pieces or something they was struggling with for understanding, we just go in like that. Okay. So with that being said, everybody good with that?
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, shalom.
We good. We good.
Okay.
Shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Yes.
Shalom.
You had
Shalom,
something,
shalom.
I mean, you had something?
Not really. I just got there's like also like how the Simpsons they be predicting stuff.
Right.
There was like an episode where they're swimming in New York. Like New York was underwater and they had like
Right.
there was a scene where they were swimming in there. Like
Oh,
scuba
yeah,
diving.
I saw that. They got an episode like that on Simpsons too.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. The
Okay.
Simpsons. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's all over the place. It's just that we got us in the dark. We ain't understand what they doing.
What y'all
Yeah.
talking about?
New York being flooded. They got a water event that's coming to New York.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just like the movie The Day After Tomorrow or something like that, where
Right.
New York was flooded too,
Uh-huh.
and then it turned to ice or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Ain't that something?
Yes, sir. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see y'all Monday at 7 o'clock.
Peace.
Okay.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
All right.